Hello, everyone, and welcome to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie and Giordano, along with Todd Flesner.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Thank you for tuning in. You know we're on Channel 26, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6:30 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m.
Yep, so thanks for tuning in. And as always, we have a guest here to bring and present to the community. So
who would you like to introduce?
I'd love for folks to meet Frank Cancilla. Frank's a local real estate agent, realtor, and we're going to learn a little bit more about the real estate business, the real estate board, and what's...
and I hear he's a fascinating man. So
I've heard that rumor as well, so we're going to find out more.
Well, thank you for having me. How's that?
Thank you,
Great. Thank you, Debbie, for inviting me.
So we'd like to begin. Share with us where you grew up and maybe where you were educated and what brought you to this area, kind of a background about you.
Sure, no problem. Great, thank you. Again, I was born and raised in a little town in Sicily called Trabia, very close to Palermo. I lived there until I was 14, and then my brother really wanted to come to this country, so my mom said, okay. My sister was already here, so at that time of my life, at the age, it's like, okay, well, I guess I have to go. I don't have a choice. Didn't want to really come, but am I glad that I'm here? Yes. So, and my education mostly, since I was living off of Sierra on Matterhorn, the first school I went to was Piedmont Middle, and graduated from Piedmont Hills.
Oh, local schools here. Yeah.
Local schools. So that's why I got my education, and then start working just around the neighborhood and stayed in the area.
So, Frank, you must like it here. You've stayed for a long time. What is it that keeps you in the area?
The biggest thing that keeps me here really is the weather is one of the best things. That's and I like the environment here. I like that we have all the different nationalities and the cultures that we have here. Then we get along and have a good time, and it's nice to be around this area.
Right. Well, how long have you been a realtor?
I've been a realtor since 2006 and got my broker license in 2006.
Okay. Good for you.
So that's 13, 14 years at this point in time. What is it that really motivated you to get into the real estate field? What led to that?
Well, when I decided to become a real estate agent at that time, I owned a restaurant. It's in a Brignac shopping center.
Okay.
Had 40 plus employees on a regular basis. Need a minimum of 40 to survive. So sold the restaurant in 98, and I kept on looking for something that I wanted to do that basically it did not need employees.
Okay.
And as I kept on looking at different businesses, then all of a sudden it's like, I used to buy and sell homes back in the early 80s, mid 80s, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So don't really need a lot of help, don't need a lot of employees, need a few people to help you, assist you, but it's not the same thing like in a restaurant that you have only open the doors. You better have enough people there to support you and to be able to serve, cook, and everything. So it was a real simple decision, and it's like, I enjoyed it, and I know I can enjoy it again.
Well,
so I decided.
Sounds like you're a people person. Too.
Yeah, there you go.
So I get to ask you, how important do you think it is, as a realtor, you've been a broker quite a while, sufficient time, how important is it to give back to either the community or the real estate community?
Well, to me, both of them are really important, especially since, like I said, coming from a different country, the way I was accepted in this country. And when I went to Piedmont Middle, especially, I didn't speak any English. So I received a lot of help.
Wow.
So, from the teachers and everybody was really... so what I received back then, I thought it was like, well, when the time comes, I hope I can reciprocate and give it back to the community. So I've always done everything possible that I can to always give it back to the community. And the real estate community, I've been volunteering at the real estate board since 2009 in different community, in different positions. And now I am on the board of directors and it's one of those positions that I have. I'm a presiding officer for the professional standard, and I sit on MLS listing rules committee.
Wow. So I get
and
to ask,
financing.
I get to ask the next question.
Okay,
This is
all
my
right.
favorite.
All right,
This
all
is
right.
my favorite because actually I was Realtor of the Year back in 1990 something or 80 some, way back. So you got to be Realtor of the Year.
Yes.
How did that happen, and how is that picked?
Well, my understanding and I believe is the volunteering that I have done throughout the years. Like I said, since 2009, I've been volunteering for the board, and especially the last 2 years, I was the chair of the foundation for the real estate foundation. Also, they know what I've done outside in the community, helping out, which I'll go into details later on. But most important, what we were able to accomplish as an organization, as a foundation for the real estate board, to be able to not only raise the funds, but also to give it away to the people that really needed the help. When we had the Coyote Creek Valley floods, we donated $10,000 to the victims. When we had the fires up north, we donated funds twice. At both locations, we were able to donate funds to help realtor families up there that need the help.
Okay, so it boils down to the service.
The service, a lot of it was the service.
And it's something you don't apply for, I understand.
No.
You get a phone call and, oh, by the way, you've been picked, right?
But yes, you
Isn't
get
it-
you
it's kind
get
of
a
a nice
nomination.
thing.
All of a sudden
Nomination.
you were nominated by some of your colleagues, and everybody
It's
says.
quite an honor, Frank.
Yes.
You're
I
very
agree
humble.
with you. It is
Go
an
ahead,
honor.
Todd.
That,
No, I was going to say it is an honor and congratulations
Yeah,
on
thank
the
you,
recognition. So you've been involved in that way in the community, helping the community through your professional work. What about the tour meetings or the North Valley Realtors tour that happens on an ongoing basis that you're involved in? Tell us a little bit about that.
the real estate tours and marketing meeting that we have, to me, is very important to get the realtors, loan officers, and every organization that has to do with real estate in our industry come together and share our victories, our losses, our challenges, and how we can help each other to grow, how we can face the challenges and have a better understanding what is going on in the market. For example, when someone does an open house, do you have a lot of traffic? Are you having many people
So
coming
sharing
through?
data.
Sharing
Data.
the data that we do that can help us know and have knowledge of what's happening. So when we could talk to our clients, we could say, we had 20 people come through this weekend. Everything is going well. Also, it gives us the idea of what's happening in the market when somebody sells a home, close a
So
transaction.
how often does this meeting occur?
We have our meeting every Thursday
Okay.
at Panera from 8:30 to 9:30.
Okay.
Panera on Brokaw.
On Brokaw, it's Murphy and on Oakland Road. That's basically
Oakland
what
Road, yeah.
that's the address.
Okay, so it's an ongoing communication
It's-
then
it's-
within the
yes.
local real estate
Yeah,
industry.
Frank is one
Good.
of the founding members of that organization, that tour, so that's good. Okay, let's jump into a couple things that might help some people watching. What's your opinion of the current state of the housing crisis? It's all over the newspapers. Nobody can hide from it.
Well-
What do you think's happening?
The biggest challenge that we have in our crisis basically is we need to have more homes built. That's the biggest solution that we can have. The way if we want to have affordable housing and we want to end this crisis we have, we need to build more homes, because as long as we have the shortage, it's going to be very difficult to have more affordable housing in Bay Area and don't end the crisis. So building homes is the biggest solution we have to the crisis.
Okay.
Okay. So now, if you get your crystal ball out, we know that we have a challenge today, but where do you see things headed in the future in terms of local real estate?
Well, in Bay Area,
Yeah.
in Bay Area right now, like I mentioned, unless they start building homes like crazy, prices will continue going high.
Okay.
There's going to be the buyer's demand for the next few years is going to be still tremendous. Interest rates are staying low right now, so the people look at the opportunity that we have low interest rate, but people are willing to go and purchase homes. The people that have been staying on the fence now, they are moving forward to come and purchase a home, which that puts more pressure on the few homes that we have available. So prices will continue to rise, and I don't see any end in sight at the moment.
Okay. Basic supply and demand.
Price and demand, yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to probably need to wrap up shortly, but I love to ask this question.
Sure.
What do you like most about what you do, your career? being a real estate broker?
What I like the most is helping the clients find the perfect home that is for them, especially when it's a first-time home buyer that has never owned a home, and you can help them, assist them to find a home that they really going to enjoy for years to come and raise their family in. And when you hand them the keys, the joy and the happiness that you see in their faces, for me, is worth it all. That's what I enjoy. That's
Awesome. Well, Frank, it's been. We got one
whoa.
more. We got one more.
So what are the challenges?
Oh.
We talked about the rewards.
I was gonna let him off the hook, Deb.
No. We know there's challenges.
well,
And we only have 1 minute.
all right. So I try to make it very brief. What are the challenges? The challenge is lack of supplies. So we need more supplies.
Okay.
That is, I think the biggest challenge that we face right now really is a lack of supplies.
Yeah.
That's our challenge, that we don't have supplies to sell. And if people have challenge finding the homes because there's no homes to really purchase. That's our challenge right now.
All right. Now I can say thanks to Frank for coming in.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Frank, if people have questions, how can they get a hold of you?
Well, my phone number is 408-821-1291, or they can also email me at fccrealty@gmail.com.
right.
Those are the two best ways to contact me.
Great.
Awesome.
Great.
Again, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you very much
so
for
much
having
for
me. I
taking the
appreciate it.
time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I
absolutely.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me here.
Hello, welcome back to Valley Homes on TV. I'm Debbie Giordano along with.
Todd Flesner.
Yay! So we're here to give you a market wrap-up of what's going on, and let's see, we're now well into April.
Yes.
So we've got a good quarter underneath us, and my gosh, and economically, I think the Valley has been doing good. I read an interesting article. We had the highest job postings in 1 month, last month for March, than we've seen for years in 1 month, and
Right.
that's amazing. Yes.
Well, we have record employment numbers, nationwide, but here in the Valley particularly is strong. We have more people working in this country than we've ever had working before. Our unemployment rate is, 3%. So, things are humming along. Things are good. And as we've talked many times before, employment and security are key supporters of the housing market.
Absolutely.
Right? And
Yep.
so when you feel secure in your job and your future, that's when you can be confident in your ability to buy a home.
And of course, that affordability is based on maybe what interest rates are doing, and I know they've held pretty steady. They're doing
Yes.
good. Yes.
Yeah, interest rates have been coming down a little bit. We are at the lowest rates now that we've seen in about the last year and a half.
That's exciting.
It is, and so we saw rates go up a little bit the first part of this year, and there's always a little bit of volatility, but. Due to some international pressures, German Bund, which is their equivalent of our bond, they're looking at lowering interest rates, keeping those low. Our Fed had a recent meeting where they indicated they have no indication of raising interest rates in the
Right.
future. They're going to watch closely the
Right.
numbers, but they went from a stance of being likely to raise rates one or two more times this year to being neutral on
Perfect. So we'll kind of keep an eye out on that.
Exactly.
As far as supply and demand, I would say on the supply side, overall, I watched the Milpitas market. We're at probably a medium to lower end of supply.
Okay.
So demand is high. I had a open house this past weekend in a home off of Berryessa Road area.
Okay.
So that's just right on the outskirts of Milpitas. Had 35 families through on Saturday, and even on Easter Sunday, which I ended up working, another 20 families through. So for a $1.3 million home.
Okay.
So they're out there looking. There's the demand is huge, isn't it?
It is, and I've been getting a lot of inquiries as well from folks who want to start that planning process. For What does
Nice.
it take to be able to buy a home?
Nice.
And so, I think that there's a lot of demand there for folks who want to make this their home. Yeah, want to make Milpitas, want to make the Bay Area their home.
And we know Milpitas, as far as I'm seeing, with BART coming in November of this year, with it being central for commuting to a lot of job centers, really makes Milpitas a great place to locate. So
Absolutely.
we're in a really nice
Well,
sweet
do you want
spot.
to take a look at what the statistics are telling
What are
us?
the numbers? Yes,
Yes.
I knew you were going to ask me, and I have them right here. So let's look at what's been happening over the course of a year.
Okay.
So in March of 2018, actually, we hit about peak there at 1.258 million in Milpitas for a
Okay.
single-family home. So March of last year, it's at 1,119,000. So it's almost back up to peak. What happened, Todd, is that we had a depression of the real estate values the last 6 months of last year. And ever since the beginning of 2019, there's been a steady progression upward.
Right. I think during that period of time, we saw interest rates had gone up a little bit.
Correct.
And we also saw the stock market sell off in October.
In October.
Of last year.
Exactly.
So
And I think that affected it. So we're just about back up to where we were,
Okay.
which is exciting news for sellers. The sellers that I have here in Milpitas are cashing out, and they're taking their money and going. But condo market, interesting. It still is on the low side. A year ago, we were at 869,000 for a single. For a condo average home price, and last month it's 790,000. So what I'm seeing there, it's moved back up to almost where it was, but the supply side is high. There's a lot of townhomes.
Okay.
You saw the building. We've talked about that through the years.
Right.
The amount of construction and the building going on. We just aren't building any single family detached homes in Milpitas. So that we will see that continue to rise.
Well, I would imagine that we're also seeing some turnover now of the first sale of those homes that have been built in the last 5 years or so, right? Where initially those came on as brand new product. Those don't hit our statistics in the same way
Exactly.
that the existing sales do.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just that. Yeah. So overall, good market. Good time to sell. Good time for sellers and yeah. Anything else on the home front there?
Well, again, I think that it's going to be a good market, strong market for folks. I'm hearing that there's better balance of buyers and sellers these days, but it really has to do with location and by neighborhoods.
And pricing.
And pricing.
And pricing. Yeah.
When you say and pricing, is that in terms of the price point or how the property is priced going into the market?
Yeah. Exactly. And what I tend to do is kind of look at the comps, but really look at what's going on more recently.
Okay.
And contact agents and find out what's going on with the how many people have come through the open house, the demand for a certain area, how many disclosure packages have gone out.
Okay.
So there's a little bit of background that's going in to really set that price.
Okay.
You do not want to be overpriced in this market. Buyers are smart.
Okay.
They're very savvy. They're online. They check Zillow and all the other, websites too.
So pricing strategy is important
Pricing
when
strategy,
selling.
and of course the condition. We've talked about that in the past. We've
Okay.
had a stager here
Yes.
and getting the home prepped and ready to go. It's critical, but pricing is really key.
Now, do you see that there's also a range in terms of home prices that you go above a certain amount, then the activity starts to drop
Well,
off?
and it's right here. It's in that average single-family home market. In Milpitas, it's 1.1. You go beyond that, and you're going to reduce the amount of demand for
Okay.
those homes.
Terrific. Well,
All right.
great insight for
Yep.
folks.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be an exciting time. We're going to buckle down and continue to work and bring folks this show. We really enjoy doing it.
We do.
Do we have a guest next time? Or?
We will.
We will. We will have a guest.
I look forward to seeing you
All right,
again
Todd.
soon. All right.
Todd, what's your contact information for the
phone
show?
is 408-921-0669.
And
Yourself.
my phone number, 408-945-8988. And we'd be happy to hear from you. And if you have any ideas on somebody you'd like to see on the show, we'll be happy to follow up.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.